Welcome back to India Today's continuing coverage from Ground Zero. We are at Anurag Thakur Union Sports Minister's residence, where a number of our wrestlers and sportspersons are meeting him. There are members of the sports fraternity with there. And India Today breaking that big story. The Sports Ministry has asked Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, the president of the Wrestling Federation of India, to put in his papers. This is a key demand of India's wrestlers, Olympians, world champions, Commonwealth Game medal winners. They say this is their basic demand. They, of course, want the entire Wrestling Federation of India to be removed, to be sacked. They want the state federations to be sacked. But does that appear to be a rather tall order at this stage? At least the information that we have at this stage is the Sports Ministry has asked the Wrestling Federation of India President Brij Bhushan Saran Singh to resign. The information that we are also getting is that he has refused to resign. He's digging in his heels for a long fight. Says, prove the charges of sexual harassment against me and you can hang me. Till then, I will not resign. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Nitin Srivastav, breaking this big story here for us. Nitin, what more can you tell us? Who has asked Brij Bhushan Saran Singh to quit?
Well, my sources are telling me because the meeting is going on inside the residence of Mr. Anurag Thakur, where all the athletes are there. We're protesting at the Jantar Mantar were there. The discussion is going on, but my sources are telling me that there was a discussion at one point of time when the athletes asked Minister to why not Mr. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh can resign in 24 hours. So he said, yes, why cannot? Why cannot? He actually can do that. So that is what I am telling for my sources, that he's been asked to leave from his post in next 24 hours. But again, remember, there is a meeting, there is an AGM, annual general meeting is scheduled in Gonda on 22nd of this month. So in Gonda. So earlier there was a speculation that he's going to resign from his post in Gonda on 22nd of January. But now the development is suggesting us that he's been asked to leave his post as from the president post again in next 24 hours.
Okay.
So that is what the development is.
Big development breaking. We're breaking it first here on India Today. I also want to bring in Aishwarya Paliwal joining us with more on this. Aishwarya, the players mean business. Our wrestlers, they are now moving in for that final assault.
Well, Gaurav, this is exactly what they have been talking for the past 48 hours. They want Brij Bhushan Singh to be out. Now, whether it can be done in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, or whether there is a procedure for that, we'll have to wait and watch. But yes, the wrestlers inside have very categorically told our Sports Minister Anurag Thakur that they will not budge from this demand. Now, other demands that they have, what they really want to take place, those things will be looked into later. Things that can be changed over the past 6 months, the next 1 year, those things will also be looked at. But at the moment, one thing which is sure is for the wrestlers telling the sports minister that they will not back down. In fact, Gaurav, I have Amit with me. Amit has spent entire 48 hours the past 2 days with the wrestlers. Amit, what are those two demands that you believe the wrestlers will not budge from, especially the women wrestlers?
See, the first thing is pretty clear that they want Brij Bhushan Singh out of the Wrestling Federation. That is pretty clear. And they are saying that, you are nobody to resign or step down. We want your resignation. We want your removal. Along with that, they are saying that we don't want anyone to be appointed because any appointee would mean that it is somebody from his coterie, somebody who is close to Brij Bhushan Singh. Hence, they want that the current WFI should be dissolved, and along with that, state federation should be dissolved as well, so that the entire structure and body of the federation can be changed, overhauled, and after that, a press system can be put in place. So
a new system. Yes. That's what they want, a complete new system.
Absolutely, because they believe that even if you put Brij Bhushan Singh out of the federation, he's so powerful. He has built a system in the past 10 years that even if he's out of the federation, his intervention will be there. And it would also mean that there's a system which is allowing, as per them, the sexual harassment and exploitation of the players and wrestlers. So they want, if the system is, there's a complete change in the system, this would mean that, there's a message, strong message which goes to the coaches, to the staff, that now the moment of change has arrived. And along with that, there's one more question to the athletes. They are saying that the people who have not sat on dharna along with these wrestlers, such as Yogeshwar Dutt, they have taken name of a specific athlete, Yogeshwar Dutt, saying that if he's not with us, it means that he's sitting in the lap of WFI. So that's a big turn.
Gaurav, what the athletes really want is for this man to go and for a complete new system to come into place. Now that definitely, Gaurav, will take a lot of time, but yes, Anurag Thakur giving a very patient hearing and also making that call, which shows how serious the government and the Sports Minister Anurag Thakur is for this entire menace, Gaurav, that has now come to the fore. Gaurav.
Oh, absolutely. And I have the best team of reporters with me here. Nikhil Naz with me right here. Preeti Chaudhary tracking the story very, very closely. Before I get a reaction from both of them, I quickly want to cut across and listen in to Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, who says that this is a political conspiracy. He's accusing the Congress party. He says the Congress is responsible for orchestrating this. Let's listen in. This is an India Today exclusive.
इस्तीफा देंगे? दो टूक सीधा सवाल, आप इस्तीफा देंगे?
देखिए, मैं जरूरत पड़ने पर कुछ भी कर सकता हूं। कोई ये मेरे घर का पद नहीं है। मैं चुना गया हूं, अपनी कार्यकारिणी की बैठक मैंने बुलवाया है और हमारी कार्यकारिणी जो निर्णय करेगी उसको हम करेंगे। हम कार्यकारिणी से ऊपर नहीं है, देश से ऊपर नहीं है।
उनके पास में पूरे सबूत हैं। आज बाकायदा खिलाड़ियों ने जब बात की प्रेस से तो बार बार कह रहे हैं कि हमें बोलने मत दीजिए, बहुत चीजें खराब हो जाएंगी। वो खुलकर बात करके उनके पास पूरे सबूत हैं।
देखिए, मैंने पहले दिन कहा था कि अगर किसी के पास कोई सबूत है तो उस सबूत को देश की जनता के सामने रखना चाहिए और ये फर्स्ट डे उनको करना चाहिए था। आज नहीं, फर्स्ट डे ही उनको करना चाहिए था। और उनके पास मैंने पहले ही दिन कहा था कि अगर उत्पीड़न का आरोप मेरे ऊपर लगेगा तो मैं फांसी पर लटक जाऊंगा। मैं भी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी के साथ बोलता हूं। मैं 6 बार गोंडा की लोकसभा ने, यहाँ की जनता ने मुझको सांसद बनाया, 1 बार मेरी पत्नी को सांसद बनाया। मैं भी जिम्मेदारी के साथ बोलता हूं और मैं आपसे एक चीज कहना चाहता हूं कि 2012 से लेकर के 10 साल हो गया मुझको प्रेसिडेंट बने और 2008 से मैं कुश्ती से जुड़ा हुआ हूं।
क्या लगता है, क्या संघ की तरफ से बातचीत की गई है उन्हें मनाने की? क्या बातचीत आज हुई है?
देखिए, ये खिलाड़ी दीपेंद्र हुड्डा और कांग्रेस पार्टी के हाथ का खिलौना बन चुके हैं और दीपेंद्र हुड्डा को मैंने 2012 में चुनाव हराया था और उस समय कांग्रेस की सरकार थी दिल्ली के अंदर भी और मैंने चुनाव हराया था। और ये मेरे ऊपर हमला नहीं है, मेरे बहाने कहीं न कहीं ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के ऊपर हमला है और कांग्रेस पार्टी अपना खोया हुआ जनाधार तलाशने की कोशिश कर रही है।
आप खुले तौर पे कह रहे हैं कि राजनीतिक साजिश है।
देखिए, ऐसी साजिश मेरे साथ एक बार सन 1993 में भी कांग्रेस के द्वारा हुई थी और 30 साल बाद वही साजिश मेरे साथ दोहराई जा रही है। मैंने पहले ही कहा था ये षड्यंत्र है और इसके पीछे कोई ताकत है और वो ताकत आज खुल करके आ गई। दीपेंद्र हुड्डा का बयान और प्रियंका गांधी का ट्वीट और जिस प्रकार से कांग्रेस पार्टी के अन्य नेता हमलावर हुए हैं।
लेकिन वो जिस तरीके से आपने बात खुलकर कही है, अगर जरूरत होगी तो इस्तीफा देंगे, अब आगे क्या? ब्रिज भूषण शरण सिंह जो हमेशा खुलकर बोलते रहे हैं इस पूरे मामले पर, चूंकि आप पद पर अभी बने हुए हैं, 22 तारीख को आपने बैठक बुलाई है, तमाम लोग पहुंचेंगे, आपका आगे का रुख क्या होगा? आप जांच के लिए तैयार हैं, पद पे भी बने रहेंगे, लेकिन इसका समाधान कैसे निकलेगा जिसको लेकर के अड़े हुए हैं सारे?
समाधान देखिए, समाधान निकलती है समझदार लोगों के साथ। कल उनका स्टैंड था कि ब्रिजभूषण शरण सिंह इस्तीफा दे दे। आज उनका स्टैंड है कि देश के सारी स्टेट फेडरेशनों को भी भंग किया जाए और जिला की जो इकाई होती है उसको भी भंग किया जाए। उनके लगातार स्टैंड बदलते जा रहे हैं क्योंकि वो अपने हाथ में नहीं है, पीछे बैठ करके लोग गाइड कर रहे हैं और ये लड़ाई हरियाणा के चुनाव को ध्यान में रख करके लड़ी जा रही है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ध्यान में रख करके लड़ाई रही है और ये मेरे खिलाफ अकेले हमला नहीं है, कहीं ना कहीं ये पार्टी के खिलाफ है। अगर मेरे बलि दे देने से उनका काम हल हो जाए तो मैं बलि देने को लिए तैयार हूं, लेकिन उस पर भी ये नहीं मानेंगे। आज साई के अधिकारियों के साथ इन्होंने बैठक किया और 4 बजे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया, डिमांड बदल गई। अभी मैंने देखा टीवी पर एक खिलाड़ी बोल रही है कि हरियाणा के खिलाड़ी नेशनल नहीं लड़ेंगे, सीधे ओलंपिक लड़ेंगे। और जिस वजन की बात आप कर रहे हैं कि वजन तोड़ना पड़ता है, तो भैया जी वजन तोड़ना गेम का एक पार्ट है, गेम का एक पार्ट है। हर खिलाड़ी को अपना वजन मेंटेन रखना पड़ता है और ट्रायल से लेकर के नेशनल से लेकर के इंटरनेशनल तक में 100 ग्राम की किसी को छूट नहीं मिलती है। ये भी खिलाड़ी का एक पार्ट है। और आपको अगर वजन तोड़ने में दिक्कत हो रही है तो जो खिलाड़ी वजन तोड़ करके नेशनल में लड़ रहे हैं तो आप उनकी दिक्कत को भी महसूस करिए। दूसरा, आप ये कहते हैं कि नेशनल से जो खिलाड़ी लड़के के आए हैं उनकी कुश्ती पहले आपस में करा दो।
Very big points being made here by Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. He says, अगर मेरी बलि देने से ये सॉल्व हो जाएगा तो मैं बलि देने को तैयार हूं, लेकिन इससे सॉल्व नहीं होगा। लेट मी टेक दिस फर्स्ट टू निखिल and then to you, Preeti. He's saying that the wrestlers are changing the goalpost every day. Initially they wanted his resignation, now they want the federation to be sacked, and then they want all the state federations to be sacked.
I mean, factually what he's saying is correct. They've also, in terms of the charges that have tend to increase. So it started with, sexual harassment, then it went to mental harassment as well. They were also, as I said, they wanted changes in the financial structure. They also said mismanagement is another thing. Things were added, but that's not to say that the charges that they're leveling may be incorrect, right? So it sometimes takes one to start that fight and then others, and it's not necessary that one may have gone through all the issues. There could be other wrestlers that went through different problems and all of them coming together. So that's coming across. But you're right in terms of changing the goalposts as to what they want, because initially when they had the meeting with the DG Sai as well as the sports secretary, initially it was at that time thought that maybe they just want the resignation of Brij Bhushan and they'd be okay with it. But once that meeting happened, we got to speak to a few of those wrestlers that were there, and they said they weren't happy. And what the sports secretary at the time or the people close to him had mentioned, that listen, they were asking for too many things at a very short notice. None of it is possible. So I think that all has changed. But let me make it very clear that whilst things may have been changing, and while he may be right that the goalpost is being shifted, still all of that could still hold true. We'll only get to know after the investigation.
And that is why perhaps, Preeti, an FIR is very important. For any action to be taken, you need a complaint in writing.
Well, I'm sure, and I do think that after this meeting that we're right standing here at 22 Akbar Road with the sports minister, once the wrestlers come out, they will have a concrete game plan, because if there is an assurance that has been made by the sports ministry, by the sports minister himself to these wrestlers, that I have given a 24-hour notice for the president to step down, then there has to be a certain amount of protocol that they will also need to follow to go through. So I'm sure there is some kind of an understanding that has been reached in terms of, will it be those fast sweeping changes, which, as Nikhil said, some of it is improbable, impractical, or too forlorn to even think of. Is there a compromise on some of those terms? Will they be okay that he steps down in 24 hours, and would that be it? So I'm sure there is an understanding that there'll be a bit of give and take, which is which would go down there. But having said that, on the point of a complaint, I think they were already contemplating on filing a complaint with the IOA. So on the other hand, an FIR with the police, well, will they do it following an assurance? We'll only know once they come out. But Gaurav, what's interesting is what will now turn around, what will be the pivot and make this game completely political, is that the sports ministry now could practically come down to the side of the wrestlers. And the president might find himself completely isolated, because till now the fight seemed to have been wrestlers against the sports ministry, and they wanted the
wrestlers always made it very clear that they're against the Wrestling Federation of India and not the government.
They made it clear, but the perception was that, okay, we've asked the sports ministry, we are speaking to the government, we are asking, they even said that we want to speak directly to the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. So we are talking, so the perception till now was that this move will completely spin it, because this will seem that the government, the sports ministry is standing on the sides of the wrestlers. This will in turn isolate the president, because the sports ministry has done what it could. And
But what can the sports ministry do? Because
By doing
the federation is an independent body elected by state federations.
He could have. The fact is, he's given them 24-hour notice. He's given the president 24-hour notice.
It sounds good, but legally not enforceable. Is it legally?
No, it's not. As I said, at best it's a request. What they can do, the sports ministry, is de-recognize. But what that does is, he may still, as you said, he's dug his heels in. He's saying, I'm not going to resign. What can they do? De-recognize him. That will still allow the Indian Federation to compete at the international level, because they are affiliated to the International Wrestling Federation. They continue to do that.
Fight also, Nikhil, now becomes from us against the sports ministry and the SAI and the president. Now the fight becomes the ministries with us. We are all at one. And now it's going to be against the president, who might be a member of the BJP, might have dug in his heels, but you've isolated him as a lone figure.
Sure. And what they can do by de-recognizing them is that they give, I think, a grant of about 70 lakhs a year that is given to every national federation from the sports ministry's budget. So that they could stop. However, having said that, we've heard from Brij Bhushan Sharan earlier as well. He said, listen, we are not dependent on the sports ministry. We're self-sufficient. We get enough money to run our own federation. So, as I said, that may still not be a deterrent for him to say, okay, I'll resign.
So who is Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh?
How much of the wrestlers are actually, when you look at the entire federation, the members, because each of these wrestlers are members of that federation as well. If you do split down the middle, are 80% with the wrestlers? How many with the the president or the federation?
All wrestlers across, it'd be tough to, there would be like hundreds of them. But again, they don't have any voting power, so it doesn't really matter. So it's just a big number, and then wrestlers could be at various levels, at district, junior, whatever. They are just competing under the, Wrestling Federation of India flag, so to say, but they don't have any voting power. So let's assume just a ballpark figure. Let's say 80% of the wrestlers right now stand by this because they have suffered at some point or the other in their career, but they can't do much just other than that add on numbers when you do a protest at Jantar Mantar. But interestingly, the democratic setup, which is made of state association, let's assume there the numbers are 80% in favor of Brij Bhushan, then you can't do anything to him. So
And that's where we'll be tracking the story very, very closely. Again, what's the evidence that comes out in an investigation and what happens next? But before we discuss that aspect, who is Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh and why is he so controversial? He's seen as controversy's favorite minister.
India's top wrestlers who made the country proud in the global arena are on the road. This bout is against the very man who runs the sport in the country, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, the president of the Wrestling Federation of India. Wrestling heroes Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Phogat, backed by many international and national level grapplers, are accusing the Wrestling Federation of India president of sexual harassment.
जहाँ पे लड़कियों के रूम थे, महिला खिलाड़ियों के रूम थे, उन्हीं के रूम के सामने उन्होंने रूम लिया। मेरे को खुद जूनियर खिलाड़ियों ने बताया है कि वो रूम हमेशा अपना ओपन रखते थे, जबकि उनके सामने महिला खिलाड़ियां रहती थी।
न्यूज वालों को कल थप्पड़ मार रहे थे, घर से निकाल रहे थे न्यूज वालों को। जो हमारे प्रेसिडेंट साहब थे वो ये कर रहे थे, तो आप वो देख लीजिए, ये खुद ही बता सकते हैं। जो स्टेट की जो फेडरेशन है वो सब इन जैसे लोग ही बैठे हैं, वो भी सभी भंग होनी चाहिए। हम चाहते हैं कुश्ती एक नए जीवन को, एक नए जीवन के साथ बाहर आए।
सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि हमारा ये धरना जब तक चालू रहेगा, जब तक सब कुछ क्लियरिटी भी नहीं आ जाता, चाहे वो आज तक हो, कल हो या 10 दिन तक चले।
यहाँ पे जितनी भी लड़कियां आई हैं, बहुत सारी लड़कियों के साथ कुछ हुआ है, बहुत कुछ हुआ है, जो हम कल से बोलते आ रहे हैं। तो लड़कियों ने जो हौसला दिखाया, मैं चाहती हूँ कि और भी जो बाकी लड़कियां वो हौसला दिखाएं। डरने की किसी से जरूरत नहीं है। हम अपनी मेहनत से आए हैं, अपने परिवार की मेहनत से आए हैं।
Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has rejected all the charges.
जो ट्रायल से आप बोल रहे हैं कि सिलेक्शन नहीं हो पाया, क्या उसी वजह से ये आरोप लगा रहे हैं सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट का नेशनल कैंप में? क्या ये आप निराधार मानते हैं इन सारे एक्यूजेशन?
सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट हुआ या नहीं हुआ?
हाँ,
कतई नहीं हुआ, कतई नहीं हुआ। एक भी सामना कर दे तो मैं फांसी पर लटक जाऊंगा।
Brij Bhushan has been president of the WFI for close to a decade now. The 66-year-old was elected chief of the wrestling body for a third consecutive term in February 2019. He's a 6-time member of parliament and has represented Gonda, Kesarganj and Balrampur constituencies. Currently, he's a BJP MP from Kesarganj in Uttar Pradesh. Singh's rivals claim it his political clout that helps him keep his stranglehold over the federation.
क्यों नहीं खेल मंत्रालय खुलकर बोलता कि हम उनका इस्तीफा ले रहे हैं? क्यों नहीं ले लेता इस्तीफा? 24 घंटे होने वाले हैं, आप चुप हैं क्यों? क्या मजबूरी है आपकी? आखिर आपका मुंह क्यों बंद है? प्रधानमंत्री जो इतने बड़े बड़े नारे देते हैं, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, उन्हीं के नारे पर विश्वास रख के साधारण परिवार अपनी बेटियों को भेजते हैं यहाँ ट्रेनिंग लेने।
Singh, who spent his childhood in the akhadas of Ayodhya, calls himself Shaktishali. Often his conduct in public has been true to his image of being a strong man. A video of him slapping a wrestler on the stage had gone viral earlier. Recently, he had dared Raj Thakre to enter Ayodhya.
2008 में मराठी मानुस और उत्तर भारतीय का उसने बीज बोया और लगभग 70 से लेकर के 80 हजार लोग उसमें प्रभावित हुए हैं। जिन उत्तर भारतीयों को आपने पीड़ा पहुंचाई है, बिना माफी मांगे आप अयोध्या नहीं आ सकते।
Singh is not new to controversies. In the 90s, the CBI had accused him of helping Dawood Ibrahim gang. While he was acquitted for want for evidence, his mentor, Kalpnath Rai, was convicted and jailed. The same agency in another investigation accused him of the role in the demolition of Babi Masjid in Ayodhya. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, the ultimate weather vane, has survived many political whirlwinds. Bureau Report, India Today.
But will Brij Bhushan Saran Singh remain the Wrestling Federation of India president after 24 hours? We have been told that the sports ministry wants him to go, the players want him to go. He may decide to dig in his heels, but does that mean then it becomes a legal battle and of course a political battle? We'll be tracking that story very closely. We're also being told that the sports minister Anurag Thakur is likely to come out with the sports persons and perhaps interact, or at least there will be a photo op in a moment from now. So a quick break, back with lots more. Don't go anywhere, stay with us here on India Today.